Royal snub: how Queen shamed Charles for putting gratification before duty. Queen Elizabeth II gave permission for Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles' marriage in 2005, but distanced herself from the wedding over her private concerns that she could never forgive Charles for, according to reports from the time. Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles married in their 2005 royal wedding after first meeting each other in the early 70s. In the difficult years following the sudden death of Princess Diana, Charles fought hard within the palace for recognition of Camilla as his new partner. Their nuptials seemed to signal the acceptance of not just the British public but the Queen herself of Camilla as the Duchess of Cornwall. However, according to reports at the time, Her Majesty was privately lukewarm about the marriage and thought her son had put his love for Camilla before duty. Andrew Alderson wrote in the Telegraph in February 2005, just before the April wedding day, the Queen has distanced herself from the wedding of Prince of Wales to Camilla Parker Bowles because she believes that her son is putting personal gratification before duty, royal courtiers have disclosed. The courtiers also say privately that the Queen is lukewarm about the marriage and was worried that it could tarnish the monarchy. One courtier told the publication, "The problems of the past week go back many years. The Queen believes that the Prince of Wales has put his own gratification and interest before duty by pursuing his relationship with Camilla, and she can never forgive that." Mr. Alderson continued, "The courtiers said yesterday that Prince Charles's private office had been outmaneuvered by Buckingham Palace and that Sir Robin Jenvrin, the Queen's private secretary, had tried to protect her from becoming involved in a town hall marriage which demeaned her own status." One courtier told the author, "Robin is very clever. As soon as he sensed controversy, he did what he always does and wrapped the Queen in cotton wool to make sure that she didn't get damaged by the events." According to Mr. Alderson, the courtier said that Sir Robinson's intervention was symptomatic of the Queen's long-standing concern over Charles's relationship with Camilla. The palace at the time signaled that the Queen's decision not to attend the couple's wedding was because Charles and Camilla wanted to keep the wedding low-key. Her Majesty instead attended the religious blessing at St. George's Chapel and hosted a wedding reception for the newly married couple. Discussions over the April 2005 marriage began at Christmas the previous year when Charles signaled that he wants his non-negotiable relationship with Camilla to turn into marriage. Prince Charles sought the permission of the Queen to marry, as he must do by law, as well as the approval of Prime Minister Tony Blair and Archbishop of Canterbury, Dr. Rowan Williams. However, Camilla's own family were critical of how long the prince took to pop the question. In her 2017 biography, The Duchess, The Untold Story, Miss Juno describes how Camilla's father, Major Bruce Shen, thought Charles weak for dithering. Miss Juno writes, "Someone who was keen pursuing Charles to do the right thing was Bruce Shen. He was now 87 years old, and though he loved the prince dearly, he thought him weak. He was worried about how vulnerable he had made Camilla by allowing her to live in limbo. He took her aside and said, 'I want to meet my maker knowing my daughter's all right.'" She explains that the rest of Camilla's family, although they were fond of the prince, agreed with Major Shen. Miss Juno continues, "They felt that Camilla's situation was precarious and a bit shoddy, and although she herself had never wanted marriage in the past, things were different now. She felt herself to be neither one thing or another and was secretly grateful to her father for putting pressure on Charles."